As a reference librarian, I get a lot of questions about historical events in Louisville. And so one that I kept getting over the years was about this visit to U of L, to the law school, by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I ran across an old 1967 Thoroughbred yearbook, and that had pictures of Dr. King speaking in this very room, in the Allen courtroom. But I still didn't know who took the photos. I didn't know what the circumstances were. Why was he here? So finally, I had it narrowed down to the spring of 1967, and that was when I met Steve Porter, who was actually the person who invited Dr. King to speak at the law school, and that opened up a lot of sources of information.
I knew that Dr. King was going to be in town. First of all, he had a brother who lived here, and we were in the middle of open housing demonstrations in this 1967. And then there was going to be a major conference for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference here in Louisville. So I called up his brother, whom I knew, and said, AD, do you think Dr. King could find time to come out and speak to the law school? He said, I'll see if I can arrange it. And he did, because he loved to speak to colleges. He gave a lot of speeches in colleges. As a matter of fact, the I Have a Dream speech, he gave that dozens of times before he gave it in Washington. And he gave it mostly to college groups. Basically the same speech.
I was always up on things, civil rights, social issues, and there was a lot going on campus because the Black Student Union was formed. I was a part of that, and so we were socially active, so there was no way that I was going to ever miss the Dr. Martin Luther King speech. Unfortunately, when I got over here, all the seats were taken, and there were hordes of people outside, and I was able eventually get to peer through that second window from the left and participate that way.
And this was a law school event. Well, the whole university found out about it. And this is not a very big room. So there were people outside as he drove up and came in, people milling around outside who never did get into the room. People like Andy who were hanging from the windows. Literally, we were inside and we could see people hanging from these windows on both sides. Just grabbing on, and because it was a warm day, this room was not air conditioned, and so they had raised all the windows for air circulation and also so they could hear. And it was an excitement, no question about it. I mean, this was a national figure who had come to this town, and people were curious. People wanted to hear about it. I think he probably changed some minds that day.